everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, or he has that vision. He wants to have his own business. And you see it every day in your phones when you scroll through your social media, where you see those videos telling you to quit your job and to leave your 9 to 5 and start your own business. Well, it's quite easy to say. So even in our day-to-day conversations with friends and colleagues, we end up talking about what we want to do in the future. And a lot of people would say, I want to have my own business. And when you try to ask them, in what? They tell you, I'm not sure. The idea will come later. So yeah, anyone can become an entrepreneur or have his own business. But does everyone have what it takes to be one? Because the path of entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So throughout my whole career, I've always had a vision that I wanted to have a business of my own. But I did not really know what was the goal of it or what I wanted to do. The first thing that we think about is we want to have a business and try to get rich from it. But there is a lot more to it than only getting rich. Yes, it is part of it. But if you are looking to get rich only, you can do it through other means as well. So back in lockdown time, everyone went through it. So we had some time for ourselves. And in that phase, that was my first business venture, let's say, in this field. The idea is that we're in lockdown, and I found some gaps in the market that I could utilize. So I started an e-commerce business in beauty products. So that is my first business experience and the learning that I've gained. You learn a lot. Well, you have to build your websites, you have to build your connections and negotiation skills with manufacturers and suppliers, as well as how to do the company formation itself. And then you enter this fierce market and you understand the importance of marketing, of advertisements, as well as back in those days, there was the influencer affiliation programs. And those were very important. Within the first 3 months, I broke even with that business. As we grew, the tasks grow as well. And then I realized I was not ready to spend all of my time into this, because at the end, beauty products was not my passion. So that's lesson number 1. Follow your passion. So if you have an idea and you're truly passionate about it, do it, because you will be spending a lot of time with it, and it's not an easy path. I'm an engineer. And as engineers, we're problem solvers. So during my career, I've worked in many fields. I've worked in sales, I've worked in consultancies, I worked in operations, and I worked in corporates. So all of those fields are very interesting. And from those fields, you get to understand the gaps that the customer has. So you try to utilize in understanding those gaps, and you will build your plan or business plan around these gaps. And that way you can utilize your expertise in this. And that's lesson number 2 for us. Utilize your expertise. So as you saw earlier, I'm a co-founder. So I have a business partner with me. In fact, my business partner was an ex-boss of mine in the past. So I'm more of a pessimistic person, while he's more of an optimistic person. And that is good for us. So that way we can come up with a plan and come up with realistic goals and what we want to achieve through our business. So I've worked with that person for many years, and there are important things that you need to get from people and to understand their quality. Because if you ever have a partner with you, they need to have certain qualities. Number 1, they have to be on the same level of, let's say, vision, that what you want to build for the future. And number 2 is that they have ownership of their ideas as well. And the most important is trust. So you have to trust your partners. And we're not talking about trusting only with money. You need to trust with their decisions and directions that will benefit you and your growth in the market. So, rule number 3, you don't have to do it alone. Find someone who can complement your skill sets. So if you're missing with some things, he will compensate for it. And ensure that you have trust in these people, because you will go through difficult times and you will be challenged. Building a name for yourself in your field of expertise is very important. So whenever you get a task in any job you do, take ownership of it. You have to take ownership of it. Think of it as it's your own and deliver your best. And don't limit yourself only to the task itself. Try to understand the whole cycle, because the more you understand about, let's say, your tasks, the more credible you are. It means you have better understanding in the market. So customers, they want to see, expertise, and that builds trust. So, and trust sells. So a lot of people, or even companies, they would rather deal with some people that they trust, because they're entrusting their money, their time, and the most important thing is their reputation. So you have to do the best so that you can deliver them the results that they need. And that's how you build up throughout your career, is that any task, no matter how big or small, you need to give it your all, because it will grow with you. And rule number 4 is build trust for your name before having your company, because trust sells. So now, the most important topic in this talk is the biggest problem that you'll ever face is actually you. You'll have that little voice in your head telling you, don't do it, don't start a company, you will fail. 9 to 5 is comfort. I'd rather do that. Yes, look around you. All of your friends, colleagues, family, they're progressing in life while you're stuck in a loop while you're trying to grow the company. So, but you have to have the willpower and the mindset to overcome those challenges. It's not easy. Not everyone will be able to do it. But what makes it easier is to surround yourself with people, or like-minded people, business owners, who have lived your troubles. They understand your problems, and that they can guide you and mentor you. Also, surround yourself with family and loved ones, because they'll always support you. And that, believe me, that's very important for you. Also, try to take up on hobbies, because you don't want to dwell yourselves with your own thoughts, because that's not healthy for you. So if you try to have another hobby, then that's good. And that's lesson number 5. So again, the pessimist in me, I wrote it wrong. You will either break or make yourself. It should be, you will either make or break yourself. So that's the pessimist in me. So that's why the most important quality of an entrepreneur is to have that mindset and willpower to overcome whatever they're afraid of. A lot of us will be afraid that you'll be living with no salary for a while, or with no money, with uncertainties. But you have to take the step. So the journey to, or the road to entrepreneurship is not that simple. And everyone will have their own journey. But these are the lessons that have helped me grow. And no matter the idea that you have, if you're passionate about it, always plan and then execute. Don't be afraid, because what's the worst that could happen? Losing that idea, closing it down? You can always start again with something else. You will always learn something new within that experience. And believe me, one of the best feelings that you'll ever have, the sense of accomplishment that you get from executing your first project as your own. So that's the roadmap. So you can be an aspiring entrepreneur, and then you have to leverage your expertise and then build your network, establish trust with the people around you, and then you will embrace the transformation, which is not an easy way, but it's doable. You just need to have the willpower and the mindset.